Sumner here. We're at the hunger strike for Birtukan down here at Lafayette Park in Washington, D.C., right across the street from the White House. The big man Obama lives there, and we're here just a few meters from his house. So, a couple of things. The hunger strike is going. We're going to talk to Chris in a little bit. But for right now, a couple things I want to explain. First, I want to thank everybody for the great comments you did on YouTube and all from our videos. There'll be more to come. This one is coming up pretty soon. You'll be seeing it tonight. And thanks so much for that. So, one of the things, Birtukan Mediksa, she is the Ethiopian world prisoner of conscience. She was thrown in jail for exercising her universal rights, and that's why we're doing the hunger strike now. And so, what is the hunger strike about? You know, why do a hunger strike? And so, like, you think about it, hunger strike means basically you're just drinking. You're not eating any food, you're just drinking, and you're in solidarity with someone who's suffering. So you don't eat because they are suffering. They've lost their universal rights, and in other words, you have compassion. And the word compassion is Latin for with suffering. So it's very important. So Chris and the other strikers, a couple of strikers out here, but we can't show them for right now, they are committing the sacrifice because Birtukan has also made her sacrifice. She didn't have to go to jail, but she took the jail willingly. So, you know, compassion with suffering. Hey, I got my boy here, cameraman, you know, if you agree, you know, do you agree? You don't have to show yourself.
How? በጣም እስማማለሁ በዚህ ጉዳይ ላይ.
Perfect. Right. Okay, so we got a few people here we want to interview, but we cannot interview because they have family in Ethiopia and things, they might get hurt because of something said here, you know. And I have to tell you guys, that's really wicked, you know. That's not cool. So, pure wickedness. So anyway, that's what's going on. So, alright, a couple of you asked me, hunger strike, what's that all about? A hunger strike is when you stop eating. And the thing about a hunger strike is that you have to ease into it. You don't just stop eating, because if you stop eating, it's too much of a shock to the system. The system all of a sudden has to do without certain nutrients that are very important, you know, for circulation, for respiration, and for cognition, you know, which is a really big thing. So you ease into it slowly, reduce your calories, take your time, start drinking. Now, out of 3 days or more, you come out of the hunger strike, you got to ease out. You can't just start eating and eating and eating. You can't do that. You got to ease out slowly, so you start to increase your calories. You know, increasing your meals, you know, proportionally, little by little, incrementally, and that's the best way to go. So we're coming in easy, we're going out easy. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody's okay. So we want to talk a little bit about. Earlier I explained to people if you're going to come to the hunger strike for more than 1 day, you should prepare yourself well. You cannot just stop eating and then just start eating again after you come in, right? You have to kind of ease into it and ease out. So right now, you're not eating, and you know, how do you feel physically for the first day? This is only the second day. Physically, how do you feel a bit? Do you feel a little weak, or what's going on?
I don't think it's that bad. We're only in day 2 right now, but obviously I do feel hungry. I do crave things like maybe a pizza and things like that, but I stick to it under any circumstance. So, but it's bearable at this point. It's not so uncomfortable where, you know, I feel like I'm falling apart. I feel a little weak. I'm less inclined to move around as I was yesterday. So, it's okay.
So let's break it down for you guys, okay? You ever notice you need to eat 3 or 4 times a day on a regular basis? That's because the human body is a huge calorie monster, you know? It's not like sharks or bears or other animals on top of the food chain where they eat maybe once or twice a day and that's it. You know, they won't have to eat 2 or 3 days. A shark will take down a meal and not eat for a couple of days.
Yeah, but they'll eat a really big meal.
Right, they'll eat a big meal. So will a bear, by the way. But the human body needs this constant supply of calories. So man, I'm telling you, this is hardcore stuff. Last night, Lafayette Park, here we are. These two spent the night. All they didn't even drink. You couldn't even drink anyway. But basically you've been on a diet of fluids, right?
That's it.
Alright, so, I mean, anything crazy happened last night when you guys were out here? Or?
Not so much. We were informed that we couldn't sleep on the grass, so we have to is on the park benches. Park benches are very hard, you know.
Right.
So, not very comfortable, not the most comfortable.
Right.
Things.
So I guess like you bought some cushion or something, right? A little blanket or something?
No, I didn't bring that.
Okay.
I mean, I had my bag. It's a pillow. I laid on my bag. That was enough. What else can you do? I'm not going to bring a mattress out here.
Okay.
They did say something. You can't bring bedding out here or bedding materials, so you got to be careful about that kind of stuff.
Right, I can see why. Since we're right in front of the White House, it makes sense. All right, the big man Obama is in there, and you know, what do you got to say to him? You know, why are we doing this? What's the story behind the whole hunger strike for Birtukan and your movie?
Well, I mean, the idea is simply just to get simple acknowledgement of Birtukan as a prisoner of conscience, a world prisoner of conscience, and to call for her release. I believe that if Obama does that, it will do nothing to take away from U.S. foreign policy. I think it's a win-win for everybody, including Birtukan, if he does that, and it's the right thing to do, considering that he's already done it before for people in similar situations.
Nice. And you know, you out there, you can help us achieve this, because Birtukan's rights have been violated by universally, her universal rights. But you can do this. All you got to do is go to our Facebook migration page and sign our petition, right? And so that's it. You know, if you're not here in Washington, D.C., and you want to play a part, you should play a part. Go and sign our petition. It'd be really. That's day 2. Chris Flaherty and the other hunger strikers, we're here. You know, like I said, come down and join us. We're just a few meters from the White House, and we're hoping to get a statement from President Obama about Ethiopian world prisoner of conscience, Birtukan Mideksa. Birtukan Mideksa. Okay, Naman here with
Advocacy for Ethiopia. I'm a director of advocacy for the civic organization Advocacy for Ethiopia, Human Rights, promote champion human rights and democracy in Ethiopia.
Nice, nice. He's here with us, Chris Flaherty, and the cameraman we can never mention. Still on hunger strike, not eating. That's his goal. Okay, but my boy Naman here, he's going to help us out with a little bit of promo. What's coming out about the story about the hunger strike for Birtukan?
Well, basically we're extremely proud and very, very encouraged with Chris' decision to sit on a hunger strike for the release of the great Ethiopian leader who was a political prisoner, Birtukan Mideksa. And in solidarity with his hunger strike, we issued a press release, and that press release statement details about Birtukan Mideksa and about Chris Flaherty, what he has done for the community. He has been championing the freedom of the press and human rights in Ethiopia with his excellent documentary. We mentioned that, and we called on all Ethiopians around the world to call him, give him moral support. We endorsed the hunger strike. So basically that's about it.
Right. You hear that call to everybody, not just Ethiopians. But the interesting thing about Birtukan Mideksa is she's the first woman to lead a political movement or political party in Ethiopia in like 1,000 years or something like that.
Well, there were Ethiopian leaders throughout our history, but in modern political party. Yeah, a modern political party. In that sense, she is the first one.